This is the Anna Gale Lines Podcast, where we equip you with the tools and insights to take charge of your life and thrive. And here is your host, life coach and author, Anna Gale Lines.
Welcome to the Anna Gale Lines Podcast. I'm your host, Anna Gale Lines. Let me share a story with you of something that happened this week. I was at a bus stop. I was on my way to work. I don't drive because it makes me anxious. I'm at this bus stop. I've got my earbuds in my ears. I'm listening to an audiobook as I do every morning. Nonfiction book on something related to one of the goals I'm working on. That morning, I was re-listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I'm almost to the end of the book when a woman sits down and she says, hello. Now, those earbuds in my ear should have been a clue to her that I didn't want to be bothered, that I wanted to decompress before I got to work. But she was persistent. Because she was being persistent, I thought, well, I'll take the earbuds out and I'll listen to what she has to say, and then I will go on with my day. So I take the earbuds out, I say hello, and she says, do you know Jesus? I said, yes, I know Jesus. She says, do you believe in Jesus? I said, yes, I believe in Jesus. Which should have either been the end of this conversation, or she should have asked me my experience. But instead, it was almost as if she didn't believe me, and she went on with her spill. In that moment, first of all, I did not feel validated in what I said. And two, she didn't know how to read the room, because I could probably quote scripture better than she could, because I memorized scripture as a child being in religious schools. And my relationship with God is important to me, but it's a personal relationship for me that has nothing to do with whether she believes me or not. I do think that trying to approach a stranger and telling them your spill and trying to recruit them into the kingdom of God or whatever you want them to do is less effective than if we were to live by example. If we were to go help out in the soup kitchen, go help out at a organization that is helping women get on their feet again after being in domestic violence, by helping out, by mentoring young people who want to become business owners, using our skills and talents to help other people in need and to give them a hand up so that our light is shining. But too many times we are trying to convince people to do things our way and the way we believe is right, and we're trying to shove it down their throats. As you see on social media and you see in politics, when if we were living by example and if our lives shown what we are talking about, if our lives shown what we believe, then people would want what we have, and they would want to know our secrets. But too many times we are speaking our beliefs. We are speaking, but we are not showing. And we need to not tell, but show. So in a world filled with words, it's our actions that truly speak the loudest. Whether you're leading a team, raising a family, or just to be the best version of yourself, how you live your life can inspire and motivate others in a way you can't even imagine. Be the change you want to see, and an incredible ripple effect will be created in your community and beyond. So if you're ready to turn your intentions into actions and make a real difference, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and get ready to share this journey together. So what is living by example? Well, living by example means demonstrating through our actions and behaviors the values, principles, and standards we believe in. It involves being a role model and setting a positive example for others to follow. What are some reasons we should live by example? One is it builds trust and credibility. When we're consistent, we act in line with our values and people trust us more. Our values become proof of our integrity and our reliability. Have you ever had that boss who they tell you to be at work on time. They tell you to not miss work and to be there consistently. They tell you not to have your cell phone at your desk, not to eat at your desk, and not to socialize while you're on the clock. Yet they're doing all of those things. They're calling out, they're late, they're socializing at their desk, not about work, but about other things. They are eating at their desks and they're on their cell phones at their desk. They are not leading by example. When we are parents, we need to lead by example. We can't say to our child to do one thing and then we do another. We can't tell our children not to lie and steal and we're lying and stealing. They will see that example and they will follow your example. It builds trust when we do as we tell other people to do. When I preach something and I'm not living it, or at least working on living it, that is inauthentic. And it does not build trust when people find out that you're not living what you preach. And it inspires others. Positive actions can motivate others to strive for better behavior and higher standards. Seeing someone else live authentically and positively encourages others to follow suit. But we have some great examples of this. People who were down on their luck and they picked themselves up by the bootstrings and built businesses, and they did things when people told them they couldn't. J.K. Rowling, her Harry Potter book was rejected many times, but she stuck with it until she found somebody who would publish it. Oprah was told that she should change her name. She wasn't going to go anywhere with the name Oprah, but we all see that that was a lie. People like Colonel Sanders, who sold his chicken recipe after the age that most people retire. These are people that can inspire us and can be examples to us. So we become inspired by these people to do better things, to build our own businesses, to be our own people, to not listen to the naysayers. And it strengthens relationships because living by example fosters respect and admiration from others, leading to stronger, more meaningful connections in both personal and professional relationships. Because people know that what you say, you are going to do. They know that they can trust you. And they know that what you speak, you also do. It enhances leadership because when we are leaders and we demonstrate the behaviors and attitudes we wish to see in our employees, they will follow our example because where you lead, they will follow. And when you are holding them accountable and you're holding yourself to the same level of accountability, they will respect that. It promotes consistency because living by example means aligning your actions with your words. This consistency helps others to understand and predict your behavior, leading to a more stable environment. They know that they're not going to come into you being one way today and another way tomorrow. That they're going to get away with this today, but they're not going to get away with it tomorrow. They know that you are going to be consistent in your actions and your words. And it encourages personal growth. Striving to be a role model or to be an inspiration pushes you to continually improve and develop yourself. It keeps you aligned with your values and your goals. Somebody is always watching you. Whether you think so or not, somebody is always watching you. They're watching what you say and they're watching how you behave. And if those things are not in alignment, they are not going to respect you, they're not going to trust you, and you are not going to inspire them to do anything better with their lives. And it creates positive change because actions speak louder than words. By living by example, you can drive social change and contribute to a better community and workplace. And it builds legacy. So your actions today create a lasting impact on others because they remember how you make them feel. They remember what you did and what you said and how you encouraged them and how you built them up and what you did to help them. And it boosts our self-esteem because we see change happening through our actions. We see us helping other people and other people being able to get up on their feet and be inspired to be better than they are. So that builds our self-esteem because we know we're on the right track. We know that we're helping others and we're inspiring them to be better. And it causes us to live authentic and integritous lives. So what are some ways that we can live by example? One is that we set clear personal values. We define our core values that are important to us, and we have a clear understanding of our values. And anytime we have a decision, we allow our values to help guide us. So, what are the values that you want to be known for? Do you want to be known for being honest? Do you want to be known for being consistent? Do you want to be known for being integritous? Write down those values. Write down 3 to 5 values that you want to have in your life. Things that are deal breakers. And when you make a decision, look at that list and ask yourself, is this decision aligned with those values? Because that's going to help you make better decisions. That's going to make it easier for you to make decisions in the future. And it's going to also make it harder because you're not going to be able to say yes to things that you used to say yes to. You're going to say yes to things that are aligned with your values and your goals. And it's going to get you to where you want to be. And it's going to help you be the person that you want to be. And then we need to practice self-reflection. We need to regularly assess our actions and our behaviors. Reflect on whether they are aligned with our values and make adjustments as necessary to stay on track. So every year, around the time of my birthday, I go on a week-long trip. And I go on this trip to regroup, reassess, and decide where I want to go with my life. And am I living according to my values? Am I living according to where I want to go and who I want to be? Am I getting to my goals? Am I taking those steps to get to my goals? And I reassess my goals to find out if those goals still hold true for me. And then I make a plan. But in that period of time, I do a lot of self-reflection. Who am I? Who do I want to be? What values do I want to incorporate in my life? What goals do I want to go after? And am I living according to that right now? And then I make a plan. It all comes down to self-reflection. We have to go inside and face ourselves. We need to face what's going on in our lives and what is working and what is not working and all of those regrets we have. But we have to take that and decide what we're going to do with it. Are we going to decide that this is the way life is going to be and this is the way I am and I can't change it? Or are we going to reassess and set out a plan? Are we going to live according to our values? Are we going to get to our goals? What are we going to do for the next year and beyond that is going to get us to be the person we want to be? We have to take responsibility. I say that in almost every episode. You're 100% responsible for whatever happens in your life. You are not responsible for what happens to you. You are responsible for how you react to what has happened to you. You may have been abused as a child. You may have been in a domestic violence situation. You may have lost a child. You may have lost a parent. You may have been through a traumatic event. But it cannot define you. You cannot allow it to define you. Who are you going to be? In spite of where you've been in the past, how are you going to use that pain and make it work for you? How are you going to use that pain and help others who are in that situation? How are you going to use that pain to share your message and be an inspiration to other people? Too many times we just allow ourselves to fester in that pool of pain instead of using it, pivoting and using it as a catalyst to get us to where we're supposed to be, who we are meant to be, and what we are supposed to do with our lives. But we stay in that pain. We let it define us. And we cannot play victim anymore. We have to be the heroes of our own lives. We cannot play victim. And we need to be consistent. We have to make sure that our actions and our words line up, because consistency builds trust. People can trust us when we're consistent. People can trust that we're going to do what we say we're going to do when we're going to do it. They can trust that outside of an emergency are going to come through for them, and that we will consistently be there if they need us. And we need to show respect and empathy. We need to treat others with kindness and consideration. We need to listen to what they have to say. When you ask a question, you need to wait for the answer, because too many people will ask a series of questions and they don't pause to wait for an answer. They've already got an agenda and they don't want to hear what you have to say. But we have to make sure that we're listening actively, and we're participating in the conversation, and we're allowing the person to talk, and that we're being mindful of their feelings and their perceptions, because not everybody believes the way you believe. Not everybody believes the same things you believe. And a lot of people are going to be closed off to what you have to say if you're coming at them from a point of view of, I'm right, you're wrong, and I need to save you. And then we need to lead with integrity. We need to make ethical decisions. Even when they're unpopular or difficult, we need to stand up for what is right and uphold our moral principles. And another thing is that we need to speak up and stand up for people who cannot stand up for themselves. We need to be an advocate for those who have no voice, because a lot of times there are people who are stuck in situations who just need somebody to come alongside them and help them out, to be their cheerleader, to be their advocate, to help them. But they don't have a voice and they're afraid to ask for help. But if you see somebody in need and you see that they need help, offer to help them. Now, they may not want your help. They may be too proud to accept your help, but at least you tried to help them. We need to demonstrate hard work and perseverance, because perseverance is what's going to get us through in life. It's that grit. It's that sticking with something until it works, finding different ways to get to your goals. Too many times we stop. Okay, I want this goal and I didn't get this goal the way I thought I was going to get this goal, so I'm just going to give up and move on to something else. But if you really want this goal, you will find a way to get there. There are more than one way that leads to that goal, and you just got to find a way that works. We have to be persistent, and we have to keep a positive attitude, because if we don't approach our challenges with optimism and solution-oriented mindsets, then we're going to get stuck. We're going to get depressed, and we're not going to get ourselves out of it. We have to stay hopeful. We have to stay proactive, and we got to take steps towards our goals. Take steps towards standing up for people. Take steps towards helping people in need. And we got to be people's advocates and cheerleaders, because we can give people feedback, how we see things, and constructive criticism, but we also need to be encouraging them, because too many times when we give people feedback, it comes off as criticism. It comes off as, you're not doing your job, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, when all you meant it to be was, you could just do this better and it would make a better product, or if you did this better, you would have a better performance. But when it comes off as just feedback, it can sound like criticism, and we need to be encouraging people by offering positive aspects of whatever they're doing as well. What are they doing right? We can't just tell people what they're doing wrong. We've got to tell them what they're doing right as well, to encourage them. So thank you for joining me on this journey to understand and embrace the power of living by example. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make a positive impact in your own life and the lives of others around you. Remember, it's the small actions that lead us to big changes. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your community, your example matters and can inspire others to do the same. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more content on living a fulfilling and impactful life and how to take back your life so that you can live life on your own terms. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. And if you have any questions about mindset, any comments or stories about how you have lived by example, or any tips on how to live by example, drop them in the comments below. As Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Until next time, keep leading with your actions and making the world a better place, one step at a time.